In the lands where the sun meets the horizon, where skies are golden and winds whisper the secrets of old, stood the ancient guardian of the heavenly gate. His name was Soren, and the duty bestowed upon him was a sacred one, to protect the gate that bridged the human world with the realms beyond. Clad in armor that gleamed with ethereal light, Soren's life was a cycle that revolved around maintaining the delicate balance between worlds. For centuries, creatures from the beyond had attempted to pass through, driven by chaos and greed, but none had succeeded. Soren wielded the Sword of Solstice, a blade forged from the heart of a shooting star, infused with the strength of the celestial beings. With it, he warded off countless attacks, standing as an unyielding bulwark. Yet, a peculiar disturbance began to ripple through the ether, a shadowy whispering of change. It came in the form of Nyx, a being of dusk and shadows, whose origins remained shrouded in mystery. Nyx sought the gate not for power, but for salvation, claiming that an unspeakable evil had arisen in the afterlife, threatening to spill into the realm of the living. For the first time, Soren was torn. His duty was clear, to let nothing through. Yet, Nyx spoke of truths that resonated with the ancient prophecies etched into the very stones of the gate. The prophecies spoke of a day when a choice would alter the fates of many worlds. Ignoring this entreaty could bring about unthinkable consequences, yet allowing Nyx through could be a betrayal of his sacred oath. The day came when Soren had to decide. The sky darkened, stars twisted in patterns unseen, and a foreboding chill swept through the air. As Nyx approached, Soren felt the weight of ages upon him. His heart burned with an unfamiliar conflict, a clash between duty and necessity. Finally, Soren lowered his sword, and for the first time, the gate opened under his watch. He guided Nyx through, knowing that with this act, the world would change as would his place within the celestial order. Thus, the Guardian broke his sanctified rule, not through defiance, but through the understanding that sometimes the greatest protection is found not in standing guard, but in allowing passage for those who could prevent an even greater darkness. And so Soren's legacy continued, no longer bound by duty, but by the hope of unity between realms. Deep within the uncharted waters of the Elysian Sea lies the Island of Immortal Souls. According to ancient lore, this mysterious island surfaces only once every 100 years for a span of 30 days. Its appearance is a whispered secret among the most seasoned sailors and the core of many a myth in nearby coastal villages. Unlike any ordinary piece of land, this island is home to souls who have lost their bodies, trapped by a spell cast a millennium ago. These souls once lived as humans but were caught in the wrath of an ancient sorcerer. For reasons shrouded in time, he cursed them to eternal life without a physical form. Tethered to this elusive island, the ethereal beings have waited patiently, yearning for the rare chance to interact with the fleeting world of the living and hoping to discover a way to regain their corporeal selves. Legend has it that a map, encoded with the island's location, exists, passed down secretly through generations. On the eve of the island's resurgence, courageous adventurers embark on a quest, driven by promises of adventure or whispers of untold riches. Yet very few ever reach it and fewer still return. Among those who arrived during its latest emergence was a young explorer named Elise, known for her insatiable curiosity and unyielding determination. Armed with nothing but a weathered map inherited from her grandfather, a famed adventurer believed lost to the island years ago, she set sail. Upon reaching the island, Elise finds it aglow with a mystical aura. The souls, sensing her presence, approach with hope flickering like dim lanterns. Unlike others before her, she feels an inexplicable connection, as if the island calls for her personally. Guided by whispers in the wind and cryptic symbols etched in stone, Elise delves deeper into the heart of the island, uncovering secrets only revealed once in a century. Her journey is fraught with challenges, as she must decipher a series of trials, each more perplexing than the last, designed by the long-gone sorcerer to keep his prisoners bound eternally. With determination, heart, and a touch of ancestral wisdom, Elise uncovers a ritual capable of freeing the souls. As the island threatens to vanish once again, she makes a selfless choice to complete the ritual. With a luminescent flash, the souls regain their form, a millennium's curse finally broken. The island, its purpose fulfilled, disappears into legend once more, leaving Elise as the sole witness to its wonders. Her tale, passed down through time, becomes the seed for new myths, continuing the cycle of stories about the island that surfaces every 100 years. In a realm where the supernatural intertwines with reality, legend spoke of a supernatural warrior known only as the Soul Hunter. This enigmatic figure was tasked by the universe to hunt down and capture guilty souls that dared to escape their judgment, thereby maintaining the balance of life and death in the world. On a fog-drenched night, the Soul Hunter received whispers from the winds and shadows, guiding him to his next quarry. The city was dark, succumbed to the eerie calm of night, but the Soul Hunter, clad in ethereal armor and wielding a spectral chain, navigated the labyrinth of streets with a sense of purpose and duty. Each step he took echoed in the silence, alerting the very spirits he sought. As he closed in on a notorious escapee, the soul of a cruel tyrant who once took delight in the suffering of others, the Soul Hunter's resolve was unshakable. He thrived in his calling, or so he believed. But just as he was about to trap the tyrant's soul, a peculiar tremor rippled through him, something unfamiliar and unsettling. The soul before him paused, its spectral eyes seemingly recognizing the disturbance. Intrigued and slightly unnerved, the Soul Hunter continued his mission. Yet, as he captured more wayward souls, the haunting feeling grew stronger, accompanied by fragmented visions, images of forgotten places, of a life not quite familiar, yet undeniably his own, flashed in his mind. Each vision left him with questions he couldn't ignore. In his pursuit of truth, the Soul Hunter confronted the ancient oracle, a being of profound wisdom. "Why do I feel these tremors? What is my true nature?" he asked. The oracle, with eyes that seemed to pierce through time itself, responded, "A hunter must first know himself before he can understand his prey." The revelation struck him like lightning. He was one of the very souls he hunted. Torn between his imposed duty and newfound identity, he faced an internal struggle. Was his existence a balance to be maintained, or a paradox that could unravel the very fabric of the universe? Ultimately, the Soul Hunter made a choice. He would embrace his true nature, balancing his role as both guardian and hunted, understanding that the duality within him was what truly maintained equilibrium. And as he continued his eternal hunt, he carried within him a deeper purpose of understanding, forgiveness, and the eternal quest for balance. In the remote village of Erin, there lived a girl named Lyra, known for her playful nature and whispered talent, the ability to command the winds. Her powers were a source of both admiration and suspicion among the villagers, who treated her both as a blessing and an omen. One fateful evening, the tranquility of Erin was shattered as the Emperor's soldiers stormed in, flames engulfing the village. Lyra, barely surviving the attack, watched as her home was reduced to ashes. The devastation ignited a fierce desire for revenge within her heart. Driven by vengeance, Lyra embarked on a journey to challenge the Empire. Along her path, she learned to refine her powers, shaping gentle breezes into fierce tempests. She became a protector of those who suffered under the Empire's tyrannical rule, and whispers of the Wind Dancer spread across the land. As Lyra approached the capital, an unexpected ally joined her, a scholar named Eric from a distant land, who recognized the true nature of her abilities. Eric revealed that her power stemmed from an ancient lineage, a forgotten bond with the elemental spirits that had once protected the world. Intrigued and surprised, Lyra delved deeper into her heritage, realizing that her quest for vengeance was not merely a personal mission but connected to a larger destiny. The Empire's expansion was linked to a centuries-old prophecy that foretold of a windbringer who would restore balance to the earth. Eric guided Lyra through forgotten rituals, awakening her latent powers. Lyra learned to harness the winds not just as a weapon of destruction, but as a healing force to cleanse and harmonize the land. Her understanding transcended personal vendettas, and she started seeing the Empire's soldiers not just as enemies, but as pawns trapped in a cycle of violence. When Lyra finally confronted the Emperor, her approach was not of destruction but of change. The winds circled her in a gentle embrace as she made her final stand, a dance of elegance and power that called forth the spirit elements across the realm. Her act of compassion unraveled the Emperor's ambition, revealing his own humanity and ending the bloodshed. Through the dance of the winds, Lyra had avenged her village, not through violence, but by bringing peace and understanding, reshaping the Empire's future and embracing her destiny as the true windbringer. In the cold embrace of the Atlantic, where currents danced and creatures whispered, existed a forgotten lore of a city submerged beneath the relentless waves. Known only in obscure legends and ancient texts, this city, called Namur, was said to rise every 500 years, exposing its shimmering spires and intricate temples to the daylight above. In the year 2523, the world stood on the brink of great change. Technology had advanced beyond imagination, and humanity's thirst for knowledge had never been stronger. Still, the people's focus returned to an ancient puzzle whispered in backstreet alleys and grandiose academic halls alike, the prophecy of Namur's return. Leading the charge of this tidal wave of curiosity was Dr. Alara Morris, a renowned oceanographer. Dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of the deep, her obsession with the lost city had consumed her life. For Alara, the prophecy was more than mere myth. It was an impending reality that could either enlighten humanity or bring it to ruin. On the 15th day of September, the seas trembled with a force unseen for generations. Across the globe, seismographs recorded the movements of a city breaking free from its watery tomb. Alara was aboard the research vessel, Poseidon's Quest, ribboning the ocean's surface in frantic anticipation as Namur's spires broke through the watery ceiling. As the city's full grandeur rose into view, a collective gasp echoed across the world. Media outlets broadcasted the event live, showing the impossible sights, crystalline towers that glistened in the sun. However, it was Alara's discovery that sent shockwaves beyond Namur's visual splendor. Deep within the main temple, she uncovered a vault containing time-worn scrolls. Their contents revealed secrets potent enough to shatter civilizations, conspiracies that ran threads through time, rebounding into current events and humanity's future. Governments scrambled to claim the knowledge, while Alara stood torn between revealing these truths or safeguarding humanity against the potential for devastation. As Namur began its inevitable descent back into the depths, society faced a pivotal choice. To seek hidden wisdom or remain blissfully ignorant. As she watched the waves calm, she knew the world awaited her decision. In a land shrouded in mystery and ancient legends, nestled deep within the heart of the Darkwood Forest, lay an artifact like no other, the Cursed Mirror. Forged by the hands of a forgotten sorcerer, its surface gleams with an ominous beauty, reflecting not mere appearances, but the darkest truths of those who dare gaze upon it. The legend of the mirror spread throughout the kingdoms, whispered in hushed tones by storytellers around campfires. It was said that the mirror revealed the soul's most chilling secrets, truths that were sometimes deadly enough to drive men to madness or ruin their lives. Hearing of its terrifying power, King Armand, the ruler of the prosperous kingdom of Arundel, sought to possess the mirror, dreaming of controlling his neighbors through their hidden shames and fears. He summoned his trusted advisor, a cunning sorcerer named Malachar, to aid him in this quest. Unbeknownst to the king, Malachar had his own ambitions. He desired the mirror to amplify his own powers, dreaming of becoming the world's most feared warlock. As King Armand's soldiers scoured the lands, waging battles and forging fragile alliances, whispers of the king's quest reached the ears of others. Among them was Queen Alara of the Kingdom of Vexlot, a wise and noble ruler known for her exceptional ability to manipulate perception and truth. More than ever, she desired to find the mirror before it fell into the wrong hands, especially that of Malachar. The forest was perilous, riddled with mazes of thorny vines and mythical beasts. Yet, both Armand and Alara pressed forward, driven by ambition and the desire to outwit one another. As they delved deeper into the heart of the forest, the power of the mirror called to them, each dreaming of what they might achieve. Their final confrontation in the shadowy grove, where the mirror rested, would decide the fate of their kingdoms. As the mirror was unveiled, the true test unfolded, not in wielding its power against one another, but in facing the truths it revealed within themselves. In an unexpected twist, it was the mirror itself that had the final say, tethering their fates to its reflections and dark truths. The cursed artifact had no master, for its power was a double-edged sword, a reminder of the ancient sorcerer's final lesson. True power comes not from revealing truths, but understanding and accepting them, even the darkest ones. The mirror returned to silence, once again hidden within the depths of the Darkwood, awaiting the next soul brave enough or foolish enough to gaze into its cursed depths. In a quaint, forgotten town at the edge of nowhere, a dense fog perpetually lingered. Inside the dusty shelves of an antiquated bookstore, a peculiar leather-bound tome rested for years, unnoticed by the passers-by. This relic was known as the Book of Forgetting, rumored to erase the memories of anyone whose name was inscribed within its pages. One afternoon, the town's solitude was broken by the presence of Alara, a wanderer with no memory of her past. Her footsteps were uncertain, guided by an instinct she didn't understand. She entered the old bookstore, seeking refuge from the fog and the cold seeping through her bones. As Alara browsed the books, her hand was irresistibly drawn to the peculiar tome. Something about its worn cover and mysterious aura called to her deeply. She opened it, compelled by a strange sense of familiarity. On the book's first page, a note written in elegant script read, "To remember, one must first forget." Alara felt the weight of those words, an unsettling pull from deep within her subconscious. Driven by an impulse she couldn't resist, Alara reached for a quill and ink. She hesitated as the fog of missing memories clouded her thoughts. Then, almost instinctively, she began to write a name. Her hand trembled as the name, Alara, appeared on the page, ink gliding smoothly over the parchment. In an instant, a rush of images flooded her mind, disoriented memories unraveling like a long-forgotten tale. With each passing moment, Alara glimpsed flashes of childhood laughter, the warmth of her mother's embrace, and the piercing grief of a younger brother lost to a distant war. The memories were hazy yet vibrant, highlighting fragments of a past she yearned to reclaim but feared. But something unexpected happened. Instead of forgetting more with each memory surfacing, she began recalling pieces of herself. As if the book reacted not with its typical erasing magic, but by allowing her to remember what she had long forgotten. Alara realized that the Book of Forgetting hadn't erased her as she feared. Instead, it had preserved her past, kept it dormant until the rightful time when she needed it to understand who she truly was. The very magic that erased for others had reconciled her with her own identity, mending the shattered pieces of her existence. As she closed the tome, the fog outside seemed to lift slightly, revealing a path she hadn't seen before. The path beckoned her towards a new beginning. With the Book of Forgetting in hand, Alara stepped out into the clearing light, ready to embrace the life she had almost forgotten. In a time where myths danced with reality and legends walked among mortals, there was an ancient artifact of unimaginable power, the dragon's heart. Legends foretold of its promise to bestow immortality upon its possessor. However, few knew the shadowy curse hidden within. The bearer would be sentenced to eternal loneliness, unable to form any bonds of love or friendship. Deep within the misty mountains, where the winds whispered through the trees and the shadows crawled holding untold secrets, lived Elda, a young scholar. Elda was consumed by her obsession with immortality. Her father, lost to time, had died seeking the very heart she now pursued. She had vowed to unravel its mysteries, undeterred by whispers of its curse. Elda's journey was fraught with danger, from traversing treacherous terrain to overcoming spectral guardians sworn to protect the dragon's remains. Her wit and determination saw her through trials that would have broken the resolve of even the bravest warriors. And finally, deep within the caverns of the eternal flame, she found it, the dragon's heart. It pulsed with an otherworldly glow, captivating and monstrous in its beauty. As Elda cradled the heart, she felt its promise wash over her, the whisper of immortality curling around her soul. But as seconds turned to minutes, the chill of solitude pressed upon her heart. The echoes of past bearers whispered in warning, their anguished voices surrounding her. Determined to succeed where others had failed, Elda defied the curse. She journeyed to the Oracle's enclave, seeking wisdom and absolution. There, she found an enigmatic keeper who, unlike others, hinted at a forgotten ritual that might break the curse, one of true sacrifice and selfless love. Elda faced a choice: embrace eternal life in loneliness or risk it all in pursuit of breaking the curse. Standing at the crossroads of destiny, she realized true immortality rested not in the endless years of life, but in the love and connections one forged. In a moment of clarity, Elda sacrificed her own immortality, returning the heart to its ancient resting place skewered upon the mountain peak. In doing so, she freed its burdened spirit and released every soul it had entrapped. Her quest complete, Elda returned to the realm of mortals, not with eternal life, but with a heart enriched by the wisdom of choosing life's fleeting, but treasured moments over the haunting solitude of potential eternity. In a time long forgotten by history, where once verdant lands teetered on the brink of eternal night, an ancient artifact known as the Eternal Beacon safeguarded the world. A sacred light, it radiated purity and warmth, warding off the shadows threatening to engulf the realm in perpetual darkness. Legends spoke of its origin, crafted by the ancients, who sacrificed their power to imbue the light with protection and hope. In the bustling town of Eldoria, cradled in the valley beneath the mystical Moro peaks, lived a young historian named Lila. Intrigued by the mystery of the beacon, Lila dedicated her life to unraveling its secrets. Her passion and relentless pursuit of knowledge were well known, and her heart brimmed with a quiet bravery. Despite the beacon's unwavering glow, whispers of a threat echoed through the winds. Nightmares plagued the citizens, stories of a shadow named Malchir, a sorcerer consumed by darkness and envy of the light. It was said Malchier sought to extinguish the beacon and cast the world into an age of despair, where only he could rule. Driven by curiosity and a sense of impending doom, Lila embarked on a journey to locate the beacon's sanctuary high atop the Moro Peaks. Along her path, she encountered Elias, a skilled archer with a sharp mind and a playful disposition. Initially reluctant to join Lila's mission, Elias found himself drawn to her determination and the mysterious allure of the legend. Together, they navigated treacherous paths and encountered mythical creatures whose allegiance to light or darkness tested their resolve. With each trial, Lila grew more attuned to the beacon's potential and the depths of Malchier's malicious plans. As they reached the summit, the radiant glow of the beacon unfolded before them, a mesmerizing dance of light amidst the cloudy sky. It was both awe-inspiring and humbling, yet Malchier, shrouded in an ominous aura of malevolent intent, awaited them, bent on seizing control. A fierce battle ensued, with Lila wielding her accrued wisdom and Elias demonstrating unmatched skill with his bow. Through their combined strength, courage, and an unyielding belief in hope, they ultimately thwarted Malchier's assault. As dawn stretched across the horizon, the beacon's light shone brighter than ever, affirming its protection over the world. Lila and Elias returned to Eldoria, hailed as heroes. Yet, they knew the beacon was not merely a relic of the past, but an eternal symbol of resilience and perseverance against darkness. And thus, they vowed to ensure its light would never falter, safeguarding the world for future generations. In a realm veiled in mystery, where magic hummed in the air and the land was ruled by ancient families, Princess Alara's life took a fateful turn. Once the beloved daughter of the Lumina Kingdom, she awoke one night to the sight of shadows dancing across her chamber, dancing as if they had a life of their own. Bewildered, she soon realized that the shadows were not a dream, but the marking of an insidious coup orchestrated by Arcturus, a dark sorcerer who had long coveted the kingdom's power. On that fateful night, Arcturus unleashed chaos upon the peaceful kingdom, enshrouding the castle in darkness. The royal family was overthrown, and Alara was forced to flee amidst the confusion. Her only company were the elusive shadows that seemed to cling to her every step. Alone and her heart ablaze with a desire for vengeance, she discovered a powerful secret. The shadows that had devastated her life were now bound to her, granting her a unique power over them. Lost and determined, she set forth on a journey of self-discovery, learning to harness her newfound shadow magic. She roamed the hidden regions of her kingdom in exile, practicing in silent caves and forgotten forests. The shadows became her allies, whispering secrets of the land and concealing her from her enemies. As months turned to years, Princess Alara's mastery of shadows became unparalleled. With each passing day, she grew stronger, her command over the shadows evolving into an art form that only she could wield. Her once tender heart had hardened with purpose. Her kingdom would return to light. In a daring and carefully planned rebellion, Alara gathered the kingdom's loyalists, silently crafting her army in the depths of the shadowy night. Her allies, once subjects of a thriving empire, now moved like wraiths, their loyalty unyielded by fear or doubt. The day of reckoning arrived under an ominous sky. The kingdom's new tyrant, Arcturus, could not have foreseen the power he inadvertently bestowed upon the young princess. As the battle raged within the shadowed castle walls, Alara and her forces emerged, cloaked in shadows and vengeance. She danced through the battlefield, shadows her weapon and shield, dismantling the familiar oppressive darkness Arcturus had cast. Finally, facing the usurper in the throne room drenched in darkness and light, Alara wielded the shadows with precision and grace. She turned them against Arcturus, his own weapon betraying him. With his defeat, The darkness that had gripped her land was lifted. As dawn painted the sky, casting away the remnants of night, Princess Alara stood upon the throne that was rightfully hers, the kingdom's light restored. Her journey of revenge transformed into one of hope, the shadows now a part of the light that she would guide her kingdom with, reminding all that, even in darkness, light can prevail. In the bustling city of Crelia, Aiden lived a life that could only be described as mundane. He worked at a local bookstore and spent his spare time diving into mythology and legends, his only solace from the monotony that surrounded him. One ordinary evening, as Aiden closed the shop, an inexplicable sensation coursed through his veins, causing him to collapse. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in a realm vibrant with colors unseen, a space both surreal and familiar. It was there that he met Alara, a celestial being who claimed to be the forgotten goddess Sildora reawakened. She spoke of a prophecy, revealing that her essence was bound to his bloodline, a legacy long concealed from both worlds. Aiden was incredulous, dismissing the meeting as a creation of his weary mind. But reality stubbornly aligned with fantasy as he soon encountered individuals cloaked in shadows, their eyes filled with a menacing hunger for the power that flowed through his veins. These seekers, belonging to a clandestine group known as the Eclipsed, sought to harness his power, to bend the world to their will. Alara, manifesting occasionally to guide him, urged Aiden to embrace his heritage. His blood, imbued with divine energy, had the potential to reshape destinies, a tool coveted by both protectors and exploiters. As threats escalated, Aiden's quiet life was rapidly overtaken by a game of survival. In time, Aiden discovered allies within the ancient order of the Auroras, guardians sworn to protect the bloodline from being usurped. Among them, he met Lyra, a fierce warrior whose knowledge of ancient rites and unwavering determination became crucial. She believed in the possibility of Aiden's transformation into a champion of balance in a world threatened by chaos. Facing relentless pursuit and riddled with doubt, Aiden teetered on the edge of his new reality. The power within him began to awaken, revealing glimpses of Sildora's memories, her battles, her sacrifices. Using these insights, he challenged not only the hunters but his own uncertainties, rallying the odd assembly of allies around him. The climax unfolded atop Crelia's tallest structure amidst an electrifying storm, marks of energy of ancient reckonings manifesting in the sky. As warring factions clashed, the air crackling with tension, Aiden had to decide whether to seal his fate with the bloodline's full power. The choice would not only determine his future, but could either silence or resurge the voice of a forgotten goddess, shaping the destiny of worlds tethered by blood and power. In the heart of an ancient forest at the edge of human civilization, a hidden valley lay steeped in legends. For centuries, tales of dragons echoed through the village, told only in hushed whispers among the elders. Yet they were more than mere stories, for deep within this sacred realm, the last dragon remained. A creature as majestic as it was mysterious, guarding secrets that could alter the fate of the world itself. Ethan, a curious human boy of 13 with an adventurous spirit, had always been fascinated by the legends. One afternoon, following an unusual trail in the forest, he found himself tumbling down a forgotten path. When he finally stopped, he found himself face to face with emerald eyes the size of his head. The great dragon, scales shimmering like liquid jade, spoke softly, its voice echoing with a wisdom beyond time. "Fear not, young one," the dragon intoned, "for I see the courage within you." Despite his initial shock, Ethan felt an inexplicable bond form between him and the creature. Over the following weeks, he visited the dragon, listening to its stories of battles long fought and magic ancient and powerful. The dragon revealed that an ancient magical threat was stirring beneath the earth. an evil capable of dissolving the world into chaos. Only through a pact with a human, a pact of heart and mind, could the dragon channel its full measure of lost power. And Ethan was destined to be that human. Together, they forged the pact. The dragon breathed a vibrant flame around Ethan, a circle of protection and connection. He felt a surge of strength course through him as old magic intertwined with his very soul. Empowered, he learned to harness newfound abilities, unlocking senses keen as a hawk and instincts sharp as the dragon's own talons. Fighting by the dragon's side, Ethan faced dangers. Dangers that tested his resolve and valor. When the time came to confront the ancient threat, he stood ready, not as just a boy, but as a guardian bound by fate. In their final confrontation, with courage unyielding and friendship unbreakable, Ethan and the dragon battled the dark forces with fire and spirit. Their triumph wasn't just a victory against the darkness, but a rekindling of hope between humans and the mythical realms. And so, the tales of old grew, weaving the legend of Ethan and the last dragon, a testament to the enduring power of unity and courage in the face of overwhelming odds. In the vibrant kingdom of Eldoria, legends spoke of an ancient sword, the Serpent's Edge. Forged eons ago in the fires of chaos, it gleamed perversely under the sunlight, a deadly beauty. While its blade was unmatched in battle, it came with a sinister catch. It bore a curse. The warrior who wielded the blade to victory would be turned to stone at the climax of their triumph. Many had succumbed to the sword's allure, hoping to be the one to defy its sinister fate. Enter Eleanor, a young knight of humble origins but fierce spirit. Her town had suffered under the reign of a monstrous warlord, known as Corvin the Cruel. Determined to free her people, Eleanor set her sights on the Serpent's Edge. She studied tales of its previous wielders, visiting with sages who whispered of the sword's origins and former warriors who had managed to relinquish it in desperation. The night of the new moon, Eleanor crept into the overgrown ruins of Kazaren, where the sword lay hidden within a stone altar, covered in gathering moss and entwined with ivy. As her fingertips brushed the hilt, lifting it cautiously, an electric thrill coursed through her arm, and a faint hiss echoed around her, like the whispers of serpents. Days turned into weeks of rigorous training as Eleanor learned to master the sword, her heart heavy with the knowledge of its curse. Through townsfolk and wandering mystics, she heard of a solution, a distant oracle claiming to possess the secret to lift the curse. With hope and a dwindling supply of courage, Eleanor set out to find this mysterious oracle. After a perilous journey that tested her strength and resolve, Eleanor climbed the rocky paths to the oracle's sanctuary. The oracle, an ancient figure draped in rags with eyes that seemed to pierce through time, revealed an unexpected truth. To break the curse lies not in the abandoning of battles, the oracle intoned, but in the decision to lay down the edge willingly, after the final strike. Only the heart of true intent can shatter fate's casing. Armed with this revelation, Eleanor resumed her quest. The decisive battle loomed with Corvin's forces. The clash was brutal, however, with calculated strikes, Eleanor weakened Corvin. As her blade prepared to deliver the final blow, she recalled the oracle's words. With a suppressive calm, she dropped the sword, leaving her enemy vanquished but alive, broken and powerless. The Serpent's Edge lay gleaming on the battlefield, its hold broken. Eleanor's heart sang with relief as she realized the draining vibration of the curse slipping away. Her people celebrated her as a true hero, one who had defeated the curse that held so many before her. Eldoria rejoiced, and the sword vanished mysteriously, perhaps seeking another host. Eleanor's spirit remained unaffected, having found triumph in mercy and wisdom. She had written a new legend, not just of a victor, but a savior untarnished by stone.